Hi guys, we're going to be starting our next tutorial video. Remember that our goal is to end up making a superhero out of ourselves. So we are going to be looking at really how we want to start that process today, using some pretty interesting tools and some pretty cool features of Photoshop. So the first thing we want to do is we actually want to load a picture of ourselves. Um, Please only use a picture of yourself for this project. If you do not have a picture of yourself already on your computer, you can just open up Photo Booth and take a picture of yourself. If you do already have a picture of yourself, go ahead and just open that up. And I'm going to open up my picture as well. And here's my picture that I'm going to use of myself. Once you have your picture open, the first thing we want to do is we want to crop it so it just shows our head and our shoulders. Now mine pretty much already does, but I still want to show you the process. So the crop button is over here. It's this one that looks like two, I don't know, squares coming together. And so we're going to go ahead and just crop this section out a little bit. And I'm going to do just like that. Maybe I want to lift it up just a little bit. Once I've got it cropped how I want it, I'm going to go ahead and click this check mark up at the top. It's going to crop that section. That way I'm just going to only be dealing with my head and my shoulders, which is really just the area we want to focus on today. The next thing that we want to do is we actually want to cut out the background. So we're going to use a different tool to do that. You'll probably see that you have this Lasso tool here. What we want to do today is use what's called the magnetic lasso tool. So if you remember, whenever we have this little arrow in the bottom right hand corner, we can go down to the magnetic lasso tool and we can choose that option. The magnetic lasso tool allows us to kind of just go around, and it's going to magnetically just go towards the different colors. One of the things you'll notice though is that if it doesn't quite pick up where we want it to go, I can click and it will actually put it in place. And then if it goes kind of too much, and see here how it kind of took off part of my ear, I can hit the delete button and it'll back up a space. And then I can kind of go back, and it's having a hard time picking up my ear. Then I can go around and I can go around my head. Now I'm going to go around it kind of quick because I want to show you a couple other things that we can do with this as well. Right? So I'm going to go in and go around my ear again. Right? As I get down back towards my shirt, it should pick that up pretty well. And I'm going to go down and around to the bottom. Getting back to the beginning, once I get back to the beginning, I'm just going to click once on it, and it should give me the marching ants around the picture then as well. Now you'll notice that I cut off a section of my head up at the top. There's a couple of things that we can do with this. Then up at the top you'll see that we've got some options. So the first box that's clicked is the Add to Selection. If I go up here to this area, I can kind of just go around some of this section that I want it to pick up with my hair that got cut off previously, and just kind of click back around there, kind of make it a circle around that selection that I want it to add, and it'll go back in and it will add it back into my picture. So maybe if I want to be a little bit more precise with my head, I can choose that area, and when I go back to the beginning and click, it picks up that area. The other one we can do is the Subtract from Selection. So if I don't want necessarily maybe this little part of my shirt to be in there, I can go back through and I can make a circle around that again, and it's going to take that part of it out. That way we can get a little bit more fine-grained control with what we're selecting. Once I've got my face pretty well selected, I'm going to go ahead and do a two-finger click rather, and I'm going to come down and hit Layer via Copy. What you'll see then is it makes a new layer with just that area that was outlined. So I'm going to go ahead and hide my background there, and you'll see there's my picture that I just cut out, that I just went around and copied with the magnetic lasso tool. Now, once I've got my layer with just my face on it, I'm going to come up to Filter, and I'm going to come down and I'm going to hit Liquify. Liquify opens up this new window, and it's pretty cool, some of the things you can do with it. The first one that it defaults to is called the Forward Wrap tool, and with this I can basically just treat any of the parts of my face as if it's maybe wet paint. And if I just drag, I can kind of begin to make some of these different features. Maybe I'm going to make myself an alien superhero, and so I want to add kind of some of these different little pieces here, and I can make my face a little bit more alien-like if that's what I'm looking for. I also have here what's called the pucker tool. So I can come over, the pucker is going to make things a little bit smaller, so maybe I can come over and click on my nose a little bit, pucker my nose in, or the next one is the bloat tool. I can come over, and also maybe, if you look, maybe my brush is a little bit too big, so I'm going to come over and I'm going to change the size of my brush. Too small. Make it about that big. Then I'm going to click on my eye, and it's going to grow my eye, make my eye a lot bigger. So I'm going to kind of play around with that a little bit. Maybe make my eye really big. It has my superhero ability. Maybe I can, maybe I have really good vision. And I'm going to do that. All right. Let's see what else I want to do. I'm going to pull my cheeks and mouth up here a little bit, and I'm going to give myself some weird looking eyes. But maybe I get into it and I realize, I didn't really like that. That didn't work out as well as I wanted it to. We also have what's called the Reconstruct tool. So I can come over and I can correct that part of my eye again if I got too crazy with it. Right? I can come back and load it again and make it bigger, but maybe I didn't like how I stretched it out too much. Okay, so looks pretty good, I guess, for the most part. Definitely gave myself a little bit more of a unique look. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to hit OK. And it's going to go ahead and it's going to put those into a place there. The next thing then that we want to do is we want to use our magic wand, which is, again, under here, underneath the quick selection tool, and then magic wand. And I'm going to come through and I'm just going to try to select as much of my skin as possible. Making it so that it's not picking up my eyes and different things, but I'm doing this just by clicking once on the skin color, and let's include my ear. That's good. I'll actually pick up see if I can get my beard in here as well. Come down here, get my neck, get this part of my ear. Get that. There we go. So now it has my eyes separated, it has my teeth. It did select part of my hair though, and I don't want it to take part of my hair. So I'm going to come back up, I'm going to take a subtract from selection, click on my hair so that it does not pick up my hair. And we might have a problem here where it's, if I want it to do my beard, it's also going to pick up my hair. So maybe I'm going to have to just leave that separate and have it be kind of two different things that it's going to change here. Let me try one more thing. Alright, so now I'm going to have kind of like my beard and then my rest of my face is going to change here then as well, and that's fine. Once I've got that selected and I feel pretty good about what we've got selected here, I'm going to come up to Image, Adjustments, and do Hue Saturation. And what I can do now is I can actually make myself into an alien of some sort. Maybe I want it to be I want my face to be, there we go. I want it to be green. Okay, so I can do that with my face. I'm going to actually come up and hit select, and I'm going to deselect that. And then you see I've got my face turned green. And come back home and select my magic wand again, and this time I'm going to do my hair. Oops. Make sure that you change it back to add to selection. And I'm going to try to pick up the rest of my hair, picking all these little extra dots here to make sure that it picks up all the rest of my face. Right, so I'm going to go back up to do image adjustments, hue saturation. And this time maybe I want my hair to be, I want it to be kind of a bluish color. Yeah, that's good. Hit OK. And I'm going to deselect it so I can see it. And there we go. I've turned myself into an alien with some different features on my face. Changed my skin color to green, my hair to blue, and begun to make myself into a superhero. We can hide this layer and take a look at the original, see what we changed it into, and quite a difference, I would say. So, your task for today, go ahead and take that picture of yourself and transform yourself into a cartoon or an alien or whatever you want to call it, beginning to figure out how you want to look as your superhero. Okay? A couple of important things that we want to make sure to touch on as we are finishing our picture. I went back and I hid my original picture again, so I'm just left with my layer that I made my edits to. Now, when you go into Photoshop, one of the things that you'll notice is that you have the option to save it. Obviously, we want to be saving our work, but if you just hit save here, what you're going to do is you're going to save it in a Photoshop format, which is going to allow you to open it back up in here and allow you to continue editing and making changes to it. And that's good. We may have to come back to it, and we may need to continue working on it. And so we want to make sure that we are saving it frequently. But one of the things that we want to do is we want to take our pictures and just so that we can see what everybody's doing, we're going to add them to a Padlet. So to do that, we're going to go to Export. Clicking on Export allows us to save it as a JPEG or as a PNG or whatever file type we want that's not a PSD file. PSD is a Photoshop file. So by clicking on Export, we can come up and we can choose our options for how we want it to save. You'll see that it comes up with format. We can choose PNG or JPEG. Let's choose JPEG for this one. You can leave all of these the same, and we're going to go ahead and hit Export. Give it a name. Make sure you know where it saves to and hit Export. It will take a second, but then it will go ahead and it's exported that out then as our picture. Go ahead then and attach that onto the Padlet and go ahead and so that everybody can see the work that you've done.